All right, everybody. Well, hey, welcome again to Swap Showdown. We are pumped today because we have got a very fun episode all planned out for you. Today, our very special theme, which was chosen by Spinning the Wheel Themes last week.
That's right.
Is all about TV theme songs.
Who doesn't love a good TV show jingle?
Yeah.
Like talk about songworms.
Yeah, for real.
I mean,
Total
they
earworm.
say I have been your Cheers one has been in my head all morning long.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're designed for that, right? So it's like it's what kicks you off the show, what brings you into the world, but even most importantly, it's the thing that keeps you like, makes you remember the show, right? So that way you're like anticipating watching it each and every week, and then you're talking about it and all that, and that episodic format, which some of the streaming services have brought back, like they make you wait, week to week to watch the next episode, but we've been so used to like binging things and like watching massive seasons all in one shot that it's like the return to the episodic format is definitely one that was definitely from our time being kids and growing up. So but it's kind of interesting to see some of the streaming services go back to that again, that nope, you have to wait next week for the next episode. It's not we're not dumping it in one shot.
And I'll be honest, I hate every second of the wait.
Yeah, you do. Well, because you just want to get right to the end.
I do. So now, I don't know if you do this or our listeners do this, but I won't watch it at first. I will watch it until there's enough to binge it because I can't not know. Like I need closure. Yeah,
I love. See, I do like getting to the end. I mean, I like the anticipation of getting to the end. Like right now, I'm watching Game of Thrones, the House of the Dragon, and last two episodes have been very like, the show definitely has a pacing problem, and so it feels like we're crawling to the end of the season. So there's two episodes left, and I'm like, I just want I got it. They're gonna be epically big because there's no way you can just stay at this like crawl pace until then. But like, it's like brutal because I'm like, but I'm really excited because I know I got a feeling they're gonna pay it off. At least I'm hoping they're gonna pay it off.
Oh yeah, the disappointment when it doesn't. But
hey, oh my gosh, yeah.
Hey, I mean, things were different then. And, I was trying to think of the word for reruns, Chris. Reruns was the word I was looking for. I was like, what was that called? Replays? Like,
reruns. That's the word. That's the word.
That's the word.
Yeah.
You just have to watch those.
Absolutely. Yeah. You just got to watch them. And especially like during the summer is a great time because it's like, it's especially with the hot, it's been really hot. So it's kind of like, it's so hot to like be outside and all of a sudden you get stuck in a rerun loop. So it's crazy. Yeah. So, all right. So listen, we've got so much to get to. The comments are blowing up already this morning, which I love. So thank you all so much for hanging out today. Of course, too, we're also streaming on IG Live. So if you just want to see a different perspective of behind the scenes of the show as we do it, you can head over to our Instagram at Swap Showdown. But we would definitely prefer that you check us out here on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, RadioGardenState.com. If this is your first time ever listening to Swap Showdown, maybe you're on Radio Garden State and you're hearing us live and you're like, what is this craziness on Monday morning? Well, welcome to the circus. Welcome to Swap Showdown. That is our show where Amanda and I each swap 3 songs with each other that we think maybe, I don't know, maybe we've heard of, maybe we haven't, I don't know, it's questionable, but we swap songs with each other that we think we try to hope that the other one hasn't heard before, and then we rate those songs on a scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a hard pass.
Done. Get out of here.
Get out of here. It's Karen levels pass.
I see what you did there.
Oh, you did it? All the way up to 5 records, which is, that's right, Heavily Music Chart here is going on our eternity playlists.
Sure
not a Karen song.
No, that's like like what's a good name? Like a Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper. That's Cyndi Lauper levels. And and so once we rate all those songs, that's it. We tally up, we see who wins in Swap Showdown, and we pick the songs by spinning a wheel of themes at the end of every episode.
Yes.
And whatever that lands on is what that next week's theme is going to be. And that's how we pick the songs. And last week we spun the wheel and it spoke. It had spoken. And therefore it landed on TV theme songs, and here we are. And here we are.
Which we could do 100 times over and still have a blast doing.
Yeah, absolutely. 100 times over. So, all right. So here we are.
Yes,
so before we dive into it, I think we got to just let's address the we talked a little about Instagram, but let's just air some dirty laundry a little bit.
All right.
Because something has happened on YouTube over the last, and we're no stranger to Amanda getting a brunt of a lot of male. I'm going to go with a lot of male aggression. I think it's a lot in aggression.
Men hate me.
I don't think men like you very much.
Including my husband. Poor Marcus.
Poor Marcus.
Poor Marcus.
You have come into the crosshairs of a fan base.
Okay, this is how it works. And Chris does this intentionally. He knows the songs that are going to poke the little bee nest. Poke the buyer. Yeah. So last week, Chris gave me Baby Metal. Give me chocolate by Baby Metal.
For our chocolate and candy sweets themed episode.
It was supposed to be sweet, so nice, so cute. Oh, no. So Chris gives me Baby Metal's Give Me Chocolate. Then he clips the perfect parts of me going, I don't know. I mean, I'm no metal professional, but blah, blah, blah.
By far the best quote of that whole show. I'm no metal professional.
And clips it just right. So the internet goes wild on me, and they are leaving novels. Not like novels.
I have never seen YouTube comments this long in my entire for the entire time that you and I have been live on YouTube doing the show, putting out content. I've never seen the novels that we've gotten, which I've been like, holy smokes.
Paragraph after paragraph after paragraph. And those are the ones that YouTube allowed. I don't even know. I can't even imagine which ones like YouTube's just like going, we're not allowing this to be published.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so I did a little tiny baby clapback video because the majority of the comments are calling me a Karen. So I just did a little clapback short saying, note to self.
Should we play this?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, let me get it queued up. Let me get it queued up while you're talking there. I'll find it.
It's just as a clip that said, note to self, when reviewing Baby Metal, be cautioned that you must like it, essentially, otherwise you'll be called a Karen. And then people came after me going, well, it's the way you approached it, blah, blah, blah. Maybe you shouldn't do a clapback video like this. And it was a joke.
It was a joke. All right.
Chris and both I have been called way worse than Karens on this show.
Yeah. All right. Here it is. Here's the note to self video.
It looks even dumber.
Baby
on the video.
On the song Swap Showdown. You must pretend. Now this is important, Amanda. Remember, you must pretend that you actually like Baby Metal. If you don't, the internet will swarm you calling you a Karen. And let's be honest, maybe you used to be a Karen, but you're not anymore. I probably haven't been called a Karen since 2001. But here we are, just because I didn't like Baby Metal.
That's right. Just because you didn't like Baby Metal, your Karen vibes would resurrect.
And I didn't criticize anyone who criticized me. It was just a note to self, cautionary tale. You're going to be called a Karen if.
Yes. And Ian from Australia, our dear friend from Australia, saying, I always appreciate Amanda's honest reviews. Keep them coming. I actually agree with you on Baby Metal.
Thank you, Ian. Yes. Just don't put it out there. They're going to come for you too.
Yeah. And they're coming for you. And I will say, yes, I've all the Baby Metal songs, and I know the comments. I've read the comments, everybody, and that, yes, as far as introducing you to Baby Metal, not the best of songs, but we had a theme, and it fit with the theme. And I thought it'd be fun and funny to do it.
And it was.
And it was fun, and we had a good time. Unfortunately, it's gone to like these other weird and whatever. It is what it is. And thank you guys for all the engagement on our video. So keep it up.
Well, and that was my favorite comment on the little Karen video that I created. Is someone again left a novel.
Yeah.
Saying I read all the comments and they really weren't even that bad. I didn't say they were bad. I just said that I was called a Karen.
Yeah, by multiple people.
Yeah, so it's this novel. And then they said, I won't write another word because I don't want to give you basically more of an algorithm like jump. And I was like, you literally just did.
You literally just did. You left us a novel. So thank you. Thank you to everybody who left comments on the Baby Metal video. You guys have done a great service for us, for our channel, and we appreciate you. So thank you, even for good or bad.
Yep.
That's great.
Absolutely.
You helped us out. So, and for all our fans or all our audience, if you guys haven't had any fun, go treat yourself to some really funny comments, great comments under our Baby Metal video, and even the comments under the short. They're truly outstanding. It's a show within a show.
I love it. So, I mean, but that's kind of, we do the show unfiltered. I mean, we give our honest reviews. We're not going to like every single song.
Right.
End of story.
End of story. So Dave Mattingly, the VP of VIPs, coming in and saying, I appreciate Baby Metals theatrically, their Baby Metals theatrically, but I'm not much of a fan of the music. So I, for one, welcome our Karen overlord.
Why, thank you, Dave.
That's right.
He's always so good with those.
He's so good with them.
Liners.
So with them. Yeah. And once again, thanks everybody who's on our Instagram feed right now, as we're doing a little behind the scenes live of us doing the show. If you want to watch the show live, the actual show, head over to YouTube, Facebook, or of course, RadioGardenState.com to check it out. All right. We've got a whole show to do today.
We do.
Strap in, everybody. Here we go. TV, theme songs. Amanda, who's going to go first this week?
I feel like you went first the last couple of weeks. And I think by far your number one pick to me is probably the one that gives people the warmest of feelings when they hear it. And they just go back in time and they want to nestle in and sit back and relax. And what song am I talking about? I'm talking about Cheers from the beloved show Cheers. That theme song, I mean, it's so iconic, as most theme songs are, but man, those couple first notes, you know what you're getting into, and it just makes you just go, it's just so special.
Yeah, and the actual name of the song, like, is because everybody goes to the Cheers theme, but it's actually Where Everyone Knows Your Name. That's the actual,
which is so fitting,
official name of the song, written by Gary Portnoy.
Yes.
And released in 1982.
And man, what a longevity. And you know what is so interesting? I did a lot of digging, and I hope some of these, you can't always source that these facts are correct when you're talking theme songs, because a lot of people have written on them, and it's not like everything is in songfacts.com. Like,
not everything is
in our normal shows, which we love songfacts.com.
We do.
Thank you. But I found a thing, and it said, his license plate. He has a license plate that says "One Hit Wonder."
Oh,
isn't that cute? Because he was a baby when he wrote this. He was only 25 years old. Wow,
he was young, man. He was really young, and it's pretty amazing to me. Like when you think about it too, it's like a one hit wonder. But man, what a one hit wonder! Because this show is still. I mean. And I don't know what the deals were then, and I don't know what's expected. So hopefully, for the love of God, I hope he's still making tons of money from this, because now everything, you can watch everything, I think, on Netflix now, the entire, and I have been watching it because I love this show.
And so if I'm gonna throw out a question, and while we're talking about this, I want everyone to give their guesses in the comments. But if you had to guess how much he was paid to write this song back in 1982, what amount was it? And then it was hard to see if there was some royalties agreed to beyond that. Like I gave it a little digging around, but his initial amount is pretty obvious from what he said.
From what he said, he got paid.
Yes. So put in your guesses. But yeah, he was a baby. He wrote a real banger.
I'm going to guess he was probably paid about $5,000 to write this song.
$5,000. Okay.
That's my guess. Oh, Randall is saying 500 on the feed. Okay. He's saying 500. Dave Mattingly was saying, I guess $250 to write the song.
Okay.
Let's say everybody else. How much money do you think Portnoy was, and not the other Portnoy? We're talking about Gary Portnoy, not the Prez. How much was he paid to initially write the Cheer song? Ian is saying possibly a free lunch.
We'll have to see if any of those are close.
Yeah.
And can you, while we're waiting for maybe more comments to come in, maybe even on IG, why don't you play a little bit of this one hit wonder per Portnoy?
Okay, so on IG from Life Review Musical, I hope I got that right. If he got any points, dude is getting checks. I certainly hope, though. I hope he got points. All right, so yeah, here is Now, if you do listen to the original version, you can listen to this whole song, right? The song itself is like, it's a full-on song. Obviously, for the show, they trimmed it up. So here is the version that aired of the song.
Get ready.
And YouTube, please don't dump us.
I know.
Making your way in the world today takes everything.
And then the imagery that comes with it is so
the
great.
Best.
From all your worries, sure would help a lot.
It's great.
Wouldn't you like to get away? Sometimes you wanna go where
When that logo comes up, when Cheers comes bursting on, the best.
So good.
Locked in.
You wanna be where you can see troubles are all the same. You wanna be where everybody knows your name.
So good.
You wanna go where people know.
And I like that their editing of it's great.
Yeah, they do it great.
You wanna go where everybody knows your name.
Woo!
And this is season 1 when Nicholas Castellano, when Coach was still on the show.
Gosh.
So great theme song. You are locked into the world of Cheers. And by the way, actually went to the For Real Cheers for the first time earlier this year.
Yes.
I was at a conference. I sent you the pictures, and
it
it was cool. So it's very, very tiny. If anybody's ever been to the actual Cheers in Boston, it is very tiny. It's downstairs, like the outside.
Yep.
That's what it looks like out and you go downstairs, and it's a teeny tiny bar. Very cool. And then there's Cheers stuff everywhere. Like there's gift shops, and then you go upstairs, and there's a replica of the actual set, like an exact replica of, and it's a whole other bar, and you could sit there, and they actually have the names, like in little plaques,
where the characters,
where everybody actually where they would have sat on the show. And I thought, so of course, I had to go sit in Norm's seat. I sat in Norm's seat. I sat in Fraser's seat. And I believe I sat in Cliffy's seat too.
I love that. And think about that. Like a character like Norm became so iconic.
Yeah.
I wonder if he realized that role would be so significant for him. I doubt it.
I don't think so at all. I mean, and George Wendt was a good character actor. I mean, he'd been in a ton of stuff, and I don't think anybody thought that show was going to be as iconic as it is. And it's even funny too, like in the first season, like Cliffy's not even like a main character. Like they don't actually even, and then they move him next to, he starts sitting next to like Norm. But like that first season, he's only in a couple, and he sits on the other side. And also it's like, it's kind of even cool that like they started realizing the dynamic of like the chemistry of the characters and stuff. It's hey, let's make Cliff and Norm like an actual pair and make them be friends. And so very cool how that show evolved over time. And Ted Danson, excellent rating, great cast. I still think those shows hold up in my eyes. I mean, in the later seasons, Kirstie Alley comes on and all, and like every show, it's sort of probably overstated its welcome a little bit, but I think all hit shows kind of do that because hey, it's making money, so
absolutely.
But I love Cheers. So the reason why this is on my list to you is because I've been watching this again and it's because it's on Netflix, and I'm like I put it on, and it's like getting on a bike, man.
Oh, it is. It is.
It's like getting on a bike.
Some of the episodes are cringier. Some of them haven't aged the best. Some of them are super relevant still.
Yeah.
Super, super relevant. But
super relevant.
I think it's a great show. So before I give my rating, I'm going to say the amount that we were asking everybody to guess.
Yeah,
so we got paid a measly $150. And a lawyer basically told him, go ahead and take it. Now, since then, I'm sure there have been some royalties. We will hope. But $150. So Ian, with possibly a free lunch, I think gets the winner of that, because that's ridiculous.
So it's funny. So I have the Song Facts thing pulled up. Just a few more facts about this. I know we got a whole show to get to, but
this is great.
But there's some interesting. So when Cheers went on the air, the show tanked in ratings, but NBC had lots of requests for the sheet music and recording of the song. To satisfy demand, Portnoy was brought back into the studio to record a full version of the song that was released as a single and got some airplay. Eventually, the show found an audience and stayed on the air until 1993. Not bad for a show that was started in the 80s.
Yeah.
The full version of the song is pretty funny, including the lyric, "And your husband wants to be a girl." Yeah, if you listen to the entire whole version of the song, it is funny. says, goes on to say here that Gary Portnoy says, in response to our question, did you have any trouble getting existing TV themes out of your head in order to write something completely different? Gary Portnoy writes, Cheers was the first TV theme I ever co-wrote. Coming from a background as a pop songwriter as opposed to, say, a jingle writer, I approached the Cheers theme and all that followed as songs rather than themes. I was never that cognizant of how long they ran until they were done with the writing. Most were born as full-length songs that were edited down to a minute. I never had to clear my head of the past TV themes because I never was thinking of that in that vein while we were working.
Man.
So, and I always think of that too, man. I feel like it's got to be so hard knowing that you're writing a TV theme song, you know? Like,
yeah.
And you only have that like 60 seconds to like,
yes.
Grip
it's like
everybody.
having to do a short and getting everything you want to say in it. Like,
yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah.
It is really hard.
Yeah.
All right. So great song, great show. I would say 100%. 5 this morning for Cheers. So thank you.
5 records.
Thank you.
5 records for Cheers. I think that that's appropriate. I think there's going to be a lot of 5 records there.
No, disappointing you there.
No. Ian's saying that's not a bad lunch.
No.
Yeah.
But here's the lunch.
Dave Madden saying Star Trek Deep Space Nine was being filmed on a studio next door to Cheers. There was an alien who was always at the bar named Norm backwards.
That's funny.
That's pretty funny.
That's funny. I like it.
That is funny. I did not know that, Dave. Dave with the
knowledge of like he has knowledge of everything.
Yeah, he does. And by the way, we have so many comments here, and we will be getting to them right after I talk about Amanda's first pick, and then we'll get to the comments. How's that sound? And thanks again, everybody, for hanging out on Instagram. Thanks for commenting there as well. Of course, once again, if you want to listen to the actual full show in all of its glory, head over to RadioGardenState.com, YouTube, or Facebook. Okay, here we go. Your first one to me. Classic show. Very classic show. And I'd say probably a lot of our younger, some of our younger audience members probably aren't too familiar with this show. But this is Green Acres.
Green Acres.
So this was a show that existed. It ran on CBS from September 15th, 1965 to April 27th, 1971. Not a bad run.
Nope.
Not a bad run. Receiving solid ratings during its 6-year run, Green Acres was canceled in 71 as part of the Rural Purge by CBS. The sitcom has been in syndication and is available on DVD and VHS. I actually didn't even know this. A reunion movie aired in 1990. Did you see the reunion movie? Did you know that existed?
Not. I don't think I even knew it existed. Definitely did not.
And in 1997, a 2-part episode, a star named Arnold is Born, was ranked 59 on TV Guide's 100 greatest episodes of all time. That was in 97. I didn't know about that either.
No, and speaking of TV Guide, remember when you used to have to get a TV Guide? You'd go to this store and buy it so you could see what was playing and what times, and if they were reruns or not. Like, it was great. Like soap operas, and I think there were little snippets.
They were they were at the
bottom,
little one sentence, like what it was about. Yeah. So for our younger listeners out there, viewers, yes, there was a thing called the TV Guide, and it was like a little book. Google it, you'll see it. And it had a cover because they would feature everything. There'd even be like little interviews with the cast and if they're promoting something, and literally it was a guide of what's on TV. Like today we hit guide and it all comes up.
Yes.
Back then that did not exist.
It was printed.
And the only way to find out what was going to be on the stations, including cable stations, was getting the TV Guide. And you could buy it at the checkout counter at pretty much every supermarket, or you can subscribe and have it actually delivered to your mailbox, which my parents did that. We had to subscribe. We had a TV Guide subscription.
Oh, nostalgia.
I actually have a few I've kept. Like when Star Wars, when Phantom Menace came out, TV Guide was still in existence, and even that and they did some special Star Wars commemorative covers, and I have those. So
I feel like this crazy always dominated the covers.
Yeah. Definitely the soap opera stuff, because I mean that soap opera was huge huge back in the day. I mean,
so big,
but not as Titanic. I feel like in the 80s and 90s.
Every housewife was watching soaps.
Hey, I've said it. I used to watch Days of Our Lives with my mom. It's the best.
Yes, we grew up on it. Again,
I grew up on it.
I couldn't watch MTV, but I could watch Marlena get possessed and sleep with every person on that show.
Right. So,
but no MTV.
This is what you're missing. Like, there was possessions. People losing identities, people being swapped. It was crazy storylines. The best.
People dying 14 times.
Always coming back. This guy was charred to a crisp. He was decapitated, yet he came back. Yeah, so everybody laughs about Jason and Freddy and Michael Myers. You got nothing on soap opera villains.
No. And nobody questioned it.
Nobody questioned it.
They're like,
he's back.
What a relief he's back. He was one of my favorite characters.
No one is ever really dead in soap operas. Your character can always be resurrected one way or the other. All right. So, sorry, we just went on a tangent there. So, we're talking about Green Acres, bringing it back. Let's bring it back to Green Acres. So, the show was actually was derived from Granby's Green Acres, which was a comedy show that aired on CBS Radio. So this was actually a radio show first,
and
then moved from radio then to TV, and that aired from July 3rd to August 21st in 1950. The 8-episode summer series was created by Jay Summers, who also wrote, produced, and directed it. So if you don't know what the show was about, it followed. Here it is. Sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. But Green Acres is about Oliver Wendell Douglas, a prominent and wealthy New York City attorney fulfilling his dream to be a farmer, and Lisa Douglas, played by Ava Gabor.
Just perfection.
Perfect. His glamorous Hungarian wife, uprooted unwillingly from an upscale Manhattan penthouse apartment to a dilapidated farm in Hooterville. Always love that in Hooterville, that Oliver purchases from the ever-hustling Mr. Haney, to the disbelief of residents.
What a show.
What a show. So the theme song for this is fairly iconic when it comes to TV theme songs.
And extra little song fact about this. This is the first theme song that was sung by main characters. Since then, many other have followed, but this duet was the original.
Yeah, actually sung by the characters. That was not a thing.
Nope.
That was not a thing.
And I think they just knock it out of the park. She did it on the very first take.
She
nailed it.
I read that too. That's great. All right. So here is, I believe this is the season 1 version of this. I think this is what this is.
Phenomenal.
Yeah. So all right. So here's some Green Acres for everybody out there.
What footage?
I know.
The time.
So great.
Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life.
Farm?
It's so bad, it's great.
Great. He's in the suit riding a tractor.
Just give me that countryside.
New York is where I'd rather stay. I get allergic smelling hay.
I love her.
Just adore a penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue.
The chores. Fresh air.
Times Square.
You are my wife.
Times Square.
Goodbye, city life.
She's adorable like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So all right.
So
I love
good.
That. So good. So good. What a great show. What a great premise too. It's funny, it's the whole fish out of water premise, right?
Yes.
Take people who are used to a Manhattan lifestyle and all that, and then thrust them into like farm life. That looks like your town, actually. It looks very close to Ida.
It could be Ida for sure, and even like the premise behind Cheers is Ida, like the song, all the words. So yeah, Ida is just fitting all these songs this morning.
So notably, I do want to say, so the writer of the song, the composer of the Green Acre song, was Victor Mizzi, right? And he was born January 9th, 1916, lived to 2009, and he was an American composer for television and movies, and a musician best known for works are themes to the 1960s television sitcoms Green Acres and The Addams Family. Another iconic theme song.
I mean, brilliant.
It's crazy. I mean, that like the minute you hear like you're in.
Yes.
Like you know exactly what show. So yeah, he was also he wrote top 20 songs from the 30s and 40s as well. He's born in Brooklyn, New York, and he's a self-taught. He was played accordion, piano, and was largely self-taught as a composer. And during World War II, he served in the United States Army, where he wrote some of his biggest hit songs. He began composing string of popular songs that include Doris Day's 1945 hit "My Dreams Are Getting Better All the Time." Other music compositions were "There's a Faraway Look in Your Eyes" and "Three Little Sisters," both co-written and lyricist Irving Taylor. The later was sung by the Andrews Sisters on Decca Records in 42, and the 1942 Universal film Private Buckaroo, in which the sisters appeared with Henry James's big band. So lots and lots of information for him. But he broke into TV, composing music for Shirley Temple's Storybook and a themes for Moment of Fear, Klondike, and Kentucky Jones. That was like his break into from like pop music to like actual TV and films and stuff like that. But yeah, Victor Mizzi, what a huge career in writing music for a lot of shows that, you know, came and went, but man, two iconic monster theme songs.
Living on.
Yeah. So all right, so where am I gonna rate Green Acres on a scale of 1 to 5 records? So I'm listening to it and I figure, well, how am I gonna rate a lot of these songs? Because it's like I know these shows, but I don't know if I can rate the song on the strength of a show, because we've talked about this. Sometimes the song is better than the show. It just is, which is okay. So I said I'm not going to rate it on the strength of whether or not I love the show or like the show. Did I like Green Acres? Yeah. Was it my favorite show? No. But was it fun to watch? Yes, it was fun to watch. It's like Nick at Night and some of the other you know, where you could watch the older shows great in reruns. So so I'm going to address it on the fact of like, is the song memorable?
Okay.
And what images does it evoke right away? Sometimes they have lyrics and sometimes they don't. Right. So for me, I go, you listen to the song and you get the entire setup of the show right there. And plus, I do say big bonus points for having the actors sing. I think that's great because it ties it right in. It's not a third person or just a singer. Like, you know, I don't know if I would have wanted to hear Ted Danson and a cast of Cheers sing the Cheers song, but I think in this case, it works really well. It was a great idea to have them. So all that being said, I really think it's a very memorable theme song. So with all that being said, I would give this one, I'm going to give it a solid 4.5 records.
Okay. I thought it was going to be lower with how lengthy you tried to justify.
No, I was trying to, because I wanted to say this is the criteria for how I'm rating everything. Because I listened to everything and I go, what's the criteria I have to weigh against when rating these, right? And I got it. I said, you know what, I'm going to throw the show right out because I don't think the show and the theme song, while they're tied, are different. In that way, you know, like you've had some really crummy shows, but like really awesome theme songs.
For sure.
So I can't let that be the weight of so I threw that out. And so now I got to go with like, does it set up the show? Does it evoke images? Is it memorable? You know, does it get me excited?
All fair points. All fair points. So I will receive that 4.5. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You are welcome. All right. We have so many comments to get to. So let's get to some comments.
Let's dive into them.
All right. So Ian from Australia, our good friend from down under.
Yes.
My 3 picks this week are the themes from Play School, Bananas and Pajamas, and the ABC News.
In the ABC News. Now, like, there's something to be said about news intros or whatever. I mean, some of them are excellent. So I would consider that a TV show. So good suggestion to have made my mind open up a little bit.
Absolutely. Oh, and then he picked stuff for Dave.
I love it. We've got music TV shows for Dave. Countdown, Rocks Whiz, and is it Spicks and Specks? Spicks and Specks.
Spicks and Specks.
I was like, I'm going to be brave and tackle this one.
Yeah.
No, I shouldn't have.
Yeah. These are all, I will assume these are all Australian programs.
I am assuming.
And then he says comedy TV shows for Amanda. Here we go.
Okay.
Let's see. Comedy TV shows for Amanda, Mother and Son, Upper Middle Bogan, and all Aussie adventures with Russell Coit.
All sound very interesting. I'm going to have to listen to them all.
To listen to these.
I love it. I love it.
All right. And of course, David, I'm coming with Good Morning Channel.
Ooh, yes.
All right. My theme songs for Chris, Alien Nation, which, by the way, that was a great show. That was on Fox, I believe. I think it was Fox. Am I right about that? Was that one of Fox's original shows? And I believe Mandy Patinkin was in the show.
You knowing everything about
I
everything.
did. I watched it because it was always funny that because the aliens, they would get drunk on milk. Like milk was like because it was the movie Alienation, and then they made a series out of it. And yeah, I always thought it was funny that by drinking milk, they would get drunk.
I love that.
Yeah, it's like King Kong, the 60s cartoon, and Nowhere Man, 90s Paranoia.
Okay.
Nowhere Man, I don't know. The King Kong cartoon, I have a very vague memory of watching that in reruns, but I may have to go back and revisit one day because I have very vague memories of it. Nowhere Man, I don't think I watched that one. I don't think I watched that. Who's the lead in that?
I don't know. I don't know. Dave, help us.
Dave, help
us.
Help
us, Dave.
And then let me see. Oh, Dave, here goes. My themes for Amanda, Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Which, surprise, went on the list this week.
It's on the list. Underdog, especially the acapella version by the Scrubs. Yeah.
Not.
Underdog's great. And the Weird Al show, which people forget about the Weird Al show, man. That was a funny show. Funny show.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Great recommendations.
Absolutely. And our good friend Randall coming in with Good Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. And speaking of theme songs,
we
I'm losing my voice this morning.
Let's cheers. Are we gonna play a little of Randall's?
Yeah. So I know last week we played it, and everybody was like, "Yes, make that the new theme song." And I agree. I just honestly, I dropped the ball. I didn't have time to get to it this week, but I will do it so that way it will start being put into rotation.
Maybe we'll click that one on to play us out.
Oh yeah, sorry. So I'll play it out. Play it out.
We'll play it out.
All right, I'll play it out. Sorry. So we'll play the new theme song. Okay. So then Dave is talking about my Barney Miller is a lot of fun, but either go with another detective show from the 70s, the Rockford Files.
Excellent.
You know, and I'll go into my Barney Miller pick.
Why?
Why? I will go into the why behind Barney Miller. To wait for that. Okay. So Mandy Patinkin was in the movie, but not the show.
Okay.
Thank you. In the lead of Nowhere Man is Bruce Greenwood. Thank you. Yeah, I didn't watch Nowhere Man. I may have to go back and check that out because I just don't remember it being a thing. So, all right, lots of more music to get to today,
lots
guys.
Of good stuff.
Once again, thank you everybody who's listening on RadioGardenState.com. Want to shout all you guys out. Thanks for hanging out with us. We are here now every Monday on RadioGardenState.com, as well as all the normal places, YouTube and Facebook, and you can always check out the rerun.
I love it.
The on-the-go version anywhere you listen to podcasts, because that's it. We turn this into a podcast. You can listen to it anywhere, and you can also watch the rerun on YouTube as well, as long as they don't flag. They may flag this episode, so I may have to do some editing to have YouTube play it, but you can definitely listen to it. All right. Whew.
All right. Housekeeping done.
Oh, and Mark Ronick checking in too.
Good morning, Mark.
Yeah, there's a lot more comments going on. We'll have to get to those. But Mark is saying too, for him, it's a Fox NFL football theme. And Monday Night Football theme. Two of the greatest sounds for men in America.
You know, when I hear that, it's not a great sound. I'm like, the next 3 hours are not what I want to watch.
Are you ready for some football?
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
Marcus is counting down the days, and I'm like, oh gosh,
let's go.
Why
NFL
does fall come so fast?
The greatest sound for men in all of America is the NFL, Fox NFL, Monday Night Football.
I disagree. And you know what? Watch. Chris is going to clip this out. He's going to put it up on the YouTube, and everyone again is going to come at me for that. He's like, it's true. It's funny because it's true, Amanda.
It's funny because it's 100% true.
All right. What is your second song to me this week, Chris? It is Dukes of Hazzard.
Just them good old boys.
Man, let's talk about historically, does the show line up anymore? Woo! There's a lot of thoughts out there, but your point,
product of the time.
We are going to talk about the theme song.
Right. Yeah.
Theme song.
Right. I mean, and yes, so the theme song, the show itself,
It's just what the show was, to your point, at the time it was made.
Product of the time.
Yep.
It was what it was. And for me, so the reason why I gave this song to you too this week is I have very, very strong fond memories of the double shot of Friday night. That was The Incredible Hulk and Dukes of Hazzard. And I can't remember I can't remember the order. It was either Dukes of Hazzard and The Incredible Hulk, or The Incredible Hulk and Dukes of Hazzard. I'm almost thinking it may have been. Now I'm thinking it may have been Dukes of Hazzard first.
I think so.
Then The Incredible Hulk.
I think so.
And that was Friday nights for me as a kid, locked in with my dad, sitting on the couch watching both of these shows. And that was Friday nights for me as a kid. You know,
I love that.
Was that?
So look, picture this: Amanda, little baby Amanda. Running around barefoot.
Dallas Fall Dukes.
There we go. Little baby Amanda running around barefoot on stones like a little country girl that I was.
Yeah.
My mom had a station wagon at the time. And I would try my hardest to pop into those windows.
The move is great. It's seamless. It's like
and you know what is so funny is I don't know what world that was that my mom was okay with that. So she had to have not known.
Trying to pop into the windows, Dukes of Hazzard style.
Yeah, because I'm sure I was probably scratching the crap out of the side of the door.
I'm sure you were completely destroying the side of that door.
But I was trying so hard. And it was way easier, clearly, to get out of the car looking cool like that.
Yeah.
Than trying to hop into the car. Because I was little. I was short. But man, that move is so iconic.
It is a great move.
Never nailed it. Probably still couldn't nail it to this day. But boy, oh boy.
I think the only people that can nail it are the stunt guys from the show.
And I've seen
wasn't the actors.
Some replays or some videos of them, the characters being older, trying to do it still. And it takes them a couple tries, but they can get it.
Yeah. So Mark is coming in, by the way, with some confirmations here, because I'm so glad Mark is, because my mind, all I remember is Friday night Incredible Hulk, Dukes of Hazzard. That's so he's saying the Incredible Hulk aired on CBS on Friday nights from 1978 to 82, beginning at 8 p.m. However, for a 4-week trial period in 79, the show moved to Wednesday evenings. Yeah. And
periodic time. Yeah.
And he was saying after Dukes, then it was Dallas. So for some reason, I remember Dallas. But I always remember Hulk, Dukes, Hulk.
Sure.
That was Friday night for me.
That was your Friday night.
That was Friday night.
I love it. Where mine was Full House and Family Matters.
Yeah. I agree. The Incredible Hulk sad walking away music is still gripping. There's nothing. You could literally put that sad walking away music over anything. Any video. Take any B-roll on your phone and throw the Hulk, the Incredible sad walking away music, and instantly it's now sad.
Oh, that's terribly true.
Anything. You could literally put anything. Dogs just playing the Hulk sad walking away music.
Oh God.
Swimming in the pool, having a good time. Hulk walking, like anything.
Now I'm gonna have to try it.
You put anything. Yeah. Amanda roller skating in the store. Hulk sad walking away
with
music.
A smile on my face.
Instantly makes everything like
That's fantastic.
All right, so I know we're talking about Dukes of Hazzard. So
we are getting so distracted today, but this is what the show does.
This is the show. We're having a good time today. Hopefully you're all having fun with us too. So let's talk about this song, because the one and only Mr. Wailing Jennings, the maestro behind this song.
I mean, he is just I really enjoy him.
Yeah.
And to think that was something that was that's who did it. Like, that's so impressive to me. Yeah. That's not often the case.
Yeah. He basically, he came up with an outlaw country theme that fit the song of Bo and Luke Duke, who were good-hearted rebels from a fictional Hazzard County in the Dukes of Hazzard. Jennings appeared in all 121 episodes until the show ended in 1985. So it literally starts off with you see the close-up of the guitar and all that. The single version of the song was a little bit different from the one used on a TV show, leaving out the line "fighting the system" like two modern-day Robin Hoods, and adding, "You know my mama loved me, but you don't understand the way they kept showing my hands and not my face on TV," which was a reference to the shot in the show's open that shows Jennings playing guitar from the neck down. It's so funny.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
It is so good. Let's play a little bit of this magic. Let's cue up some Dukes of
And
Hazzard.
and just the General Lee.
Oh, I
What is
know.
this, the coolest car ever. Definitely not in vogue anymore, the way it's painted.
No,
but as a kid,
everyone had the Hot Wheel, the micro.
I still have my Hot Wheel of the General Lee, by the way.
Well, I think most people,
men.
most men in your age range do.
Yeah. All right, so here is what an opening. Here. Right away. In the air.
Just a good old boy.
The car's flying around.
Never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw. Been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves.
John Schneider, man.
Flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get them, but the law never will.
So great.
Making their way the only way they know how.
Yep, Denver
Uncle Jesse. So
Just a good old
imagine trying to get away with all of this in today's time. Your butt would be in prison for years.
Oh my God, forget it.
fighting the system like a two.
Like, they shouldn't even be able to do that. Oh, okay.
So good. It's good.
It's so great. So
Such
great.
Good.
Just the good old boys. Never
Did you like
meaning no
the
harm.
movie with Jessica Simpson? What did
You
you
know
think
what?
about that?
It was all right. It was funny. I had a good time with it. I mean, it was just fun. I don't know. I didn't go into it with anything more than just, it was just like, hey, you know what? I really did. I was like, it was fun entertainment for the time it was on. I mean, it's not the show, but it was that time when they were trying to make all these like movies out of show. I mean, they just did The Fall Guy, like they just did that with Ken.
True. Yeah, I remember. So I was watching The Newlyweds with Nick Lachey and Jessica Simpson when she was filming that. So this was years, 20 years ago, 20 more probably.
Yep.
And I remember she got so skinny for that role. She had to watch an exercise. I was like, oh my gosh, how miserable.
I mean, with Catherine Bach, it was just like outstanding shape back then. So
she was beautiful.
Unbelievable. Yes. So Mark Ronix asking, Chris, do you remember Coy and Vance Duke? And I do. So Coy and Vance Duke were the cousins that came in and took the places of the original actors because for contract disputes, money, and all that. So they replaced them with cousins. So Coy and Vance Duke came onto the show.
I feel like
now that was it. That was it.
Yes.
Once the cousins appear, your show is done.
I agree. Talk about overstay. You're welcome.
Yep. Mark saying such a great theme song. Dave saying I like the Enos spinoff show. I remember that for a brief day.
I don't remember that.
Enos. Yeah.
All right, Mark.
Enos, a great
character. I agree that it's such a great theme song?
Here we go. So
here we go.
We've said a lot already. There's been a lot of nostalgia thrown around about this song, but Amanda now needs to rate it on a scale of 1 to 5 records.
Yeah, sure do.
Where does it fall for you?
So I really like this song. A lot. And it gives me that warm and fuzzy, throw us back into a time of good TV. I just think TV was awesome. 80s and early 90s, late 70s, great. All of 80s, early 90s. I just think it was epic TV. But this one I think is right up there, but I don't think it's quite 5 records, but I'm going to give it a 4.9. I need to shave a little hair off.
In your little hair.
A little hair, but 4.9, Chris, which I think is really respectable. But I wouldn't want to listen to this on replay over and over, where Cheers I would.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting assessment. Okay.
But I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think too. I mean, once again, it's being a product of the time, the 80s, right?
Yeah.
When the show and this, I feel like the show was definitely just made for boys. It had everything you wanted. And but to me it was great. And watching because I said I still have the General Lee Matchbox, and I remember everything was all ramps. How can I make the General Lee go higher, faster, further? And I would just make ramps and by tracks, and I would just run it down things and be
I love that.
I used to do it all the time. all the
I
time.
love that. I know Marcus did, and then even with Owen, we would always build stuff outside, and I think he does have one. It could have been Marcus's that
Yeah.
Marcus had when he was young, and that's why Owen went, I'm gonna have to go through his toys.
They
But
may have even had a Dukes of Hazzard's Matchbox like set, if I remember.
like a whole collection.
Yeah, let me see. Matchbox.
Interesting.
Track.
I bet.
Oh,
I bet they did.
Here we go. They had a slot car and track. They
That
did have a
makes
track.
sense.
They had electric slot car racing track.
That makes sense.
It's not bad, but I mean, you're not doing jumps with a slot car.
No, you're not.
Definitely
slot cars are
cool,
fun.
though. Yeah, I'm looking at it now.
So I
check
follow
it out. Google it.
Google machine it. I follow this. I think the name is just like Dracula or something like that on Facebook, and they constantly are posting things from the 80s, and the nostalgia of like the things that they post, like a picture. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot all about that. Like it's so fun to like have things trigger a memory of your childhood.
It's great.
But yeah, it's really
memory
great. So
unlocked.
It is. But you know what? 4.9. And the show, to your point, like as a girl, I did watch it, I think because my parents watched it or my dad watched it. But I wasn't so obsessed with Dukes of Hazzard. But I absolutely like the theme song.
Okay.
It's very good. Very, very good.
Very good. All right. I will take your 4.9 records for Dukes of Hazzard. Just the good old boys.
Just the good old boys.
The one and only Waylon Jennings. All right.
Never
moving in to your next tune.
And talk about the difference of a boy show and a girl show.
Difference.
Yes.
Big difference here. So what are we talking about here? One of I watched the show. I did like the show. This was a very good show. I really enjoyed the show. We're talking about the Facts of Life. I mean, who out there remembers the Facts of Life? And on top of that, who was your favorite member? Okay, so let's go. Who is your favorite cast member on Facts of Life? Who was the one that you liked the most?
I really liked Trudy because she would wear the roller skates.
Which one?
Trudy, because
Trudy. Trudy was great.
Yeah, but Blair was who I would have wanted to be because she was blonde and beautiful. Right. But then there was Joe, who was just that tomboy to the point type of person.
From the streets.
Yes. Yeah. So I think all of that cast just were phenomenal. And George Clooney was even in it. I mean,
yeah, George Clooney was in it.
Can't go wrong.
Very good cast. And of course, Edna Garrett, played by Charlotte Ray. Excellent.
Yes, Mrs.
Garrett. So do you remember what the show is a spinoff of?
Yes. But what is the name? Oh my gosh. Say the first name. Say it for me. Yes, I do, but why can't I think of it?
Starts with a D.
With a D?
Different Strokes.
Oh gosh, that was a phenomenal
It was a spinoff of Different Strokes. And that was August. And this show ran.
Good show.
The show ran for 9 seasons, actually.
Facts of Life.
Yes. Ran for 9 seasons. Wow. I did not even realize it ran for 9 seasons. It started June 11th, 1980. Actually, originally aired. I'll say the pilot first aired for the show May 4th, 1979. Then the show got picked up, and it ran basically then from 79 to 88, and then they did a reunion show in 2001.
And I did watch that.
I remember watching the reunion show. I did watch that too.
I will say, I feel like that particular show did a really great job of progressing the characters for their age growth. I think they did a phenomenal job of
where they were
the older the kids got, they became more relative and helping, and it was good.
Yeah. Dave saying my favorite cast member on The Facts of Life was Mrs. Garrett.
She was wonderful.
Yeah. For everybody watching on IG right now, you let us know who is your favorite Facts of Life character. Let us know. Mark saying Facts of Life later years wasn't at the private school. They owned a store. If you remember that. Yes.
Yep. Sure do. That's I think that's how they made it so relevant by actually changing it enough that, because obviously the girls don't stay young forever.
Yeah.
Ooh, what is, I would say Facts of Life for me.
Yeah. So the question is for everybody, Mark Rada coming in with, what was a better theme song, Facts of Life or Different Strokes?
That might just have to be an IG poll.
But great question, Mark. Yeah. I think for me, And I really enjoyed Different Strokes a lot, but I think Facts of Life, I don't know, there was a certain bounce to Facts of Life that just, I think the cadence, and we'll listen to it in a little bit, but I think the cadence of the it just was more catchy to me.
Yeah. Mark, what about you? Which one do you prefer?
Which one do you prefer?
Yeah, I think Facts of Life for sure. But man, Different Strokes was excellent.
Yeah. Oh, great show. All right, so Facts of Life. So we're just talking a little bit about this. So if you guys have never watched Facts of Life, so once again, for maybe some of our younger audience members out there, this may be a show that you're not familiar with, but the series focused on Edna Garrett as she becomes a house mother, and then from the second season onward, a dietitian, as well as the fictional Eastland High School and an all-girls boarding school in Peekskill, New York. It's a spinoff of Different Strokes and featured the Drummonds' former housekeeper, Edna Garrett, working in a new job as a house mother of a dormitory at Eastland High School, a private all-girls school in Peekskill, New York. The girls in her care included spoiled rich girl Blair Warner, played by Lisa Wachtel. Awesome. This cast is great. The youngest, gossipy Dorothy Tootie Ramsey, played by Kim Fields, and the impressionable Natalie Green, Mindy Cohn. The pilot for the show was originally aired as the last episode of the first season of Different Strokes and was called The Girls' School, aka Garrett's Girls. The plot line for the pilot had Kimberly Drummond requesting that Mrs. Garrett help her sew costumes for student play at Eastland High School for Girls. The school Kimberly attended in upstate New York, as her dorm's house mother had recently quit. Mrs. Garrett agrees to help, puts on a successful play, and also solves a problem for the boyfriend-obsessed Nancy Olson, as she meets Blair, Tootie, and Sue Ann Weaver, a small-town girl from Kansas, and a budding social activist, Molly Ringwald. Mrs. Garrett is asked to stay on as a new house mother, but said she would rather continue working for the Drummonds at the end of the pilot. After the pilot, the name of the school was changed to Eastland, and the characters were replaced with Natalie, athletic tomboy Cindy Webster, and Mr. Bradley becoming part of the main group featured. Although Kimberly Drummond is featured as a student in Eastlake, her character did not cross over to the spinoff series with Mrs. Garrett. So it goes on and on and on about, but it's a very good show. They got into a lot of situations, and as the show went on, you had some of the other girls kind of come and go and all that. So you had some mixes, but for the most part, I mean, Charlotte Rae, I think right up until the end, right? She pretty much was on it the entire time, if I'm
the cast stuck together pretty good. And I'm gonna ask a question.
Oh, here it is. So Charlotte Rae reduced her role in season 6 and 7 and later decided to leave the series altogether, believing she had done all she could do with her character and desiring to move on to other projects. In seasons 8, heavily promoted 1 hour premiere out of Peekskill, Mrs. Garrett married the man of her dreams and joined him in Africa while he worked for the Peace Corps. Mrs. Garrett convinces her sister, Beverly Ann Stickle, Cloris Leachman, to take over the shop and look after the girls.
Which by this point, the girls are well old enough to be running it by themselves.
Yeah. Like, they don't need to be looked after, but
they just needed to fill a character choice, basically. Right. So we're gonna play a little bit, but before we play a little bit, who do you think wrote this song?
Who do I think wrote this song?
Put your guesses in the comments on IG or here on YouTube, and let's play a little bit while everyone's got their thinking caps on.
All right. And by the way, coming back to it,
shocked.
Mark Ronick is picking Different Strokes as
totally fair.
The Facts of Life versus Different Strokes theme songs.
I don't think there's any wrong answer to that.
I don't think so either. All right, here is.
And the lyrics are just phenomenal on this one.
Let's see, where
very,
am I?
very, very relevant.
What happened to my Facts of Life here?
Uh-oh.
Nope.
I mean, I will sing it if necessary, but I'll need to pull up all the lyrics.
There it is. Got it. There it is. It was hiding. That tab was hiding. Here we go.
Woo!
You take the good, you take the bad, you take them both, and there you have the facts of life.
Aww.
Life, there's a time you gotta go and show you grow, and now you know about the facts of life.
Piano's the best.
The facts of life, when the world never seems to be living up to your dreams, and suddenly you're finding out the facts of life are all about you. It takes a lot to get them right. when you're learning the facts of life. Learning the facts of life. Learning the facts of life.
Man, you just get invested.
Yeah. You get so invested.
You get so invested. Right? With or without the video.
That makes for a good TV theme song, though.
It does. It does.
You know?
All right. So before I ask you what your rating is, but Alan Thicke is the one who wrote that song.
Yes. Alan Thicke and
the father of Growing Pains.
That is right. And it was also composed by Albert and Gloria Loring, by the way. Gloria Loring, especially for all you soap opera fans out there. Gloria Loring was she was part of the Days of Our Lives crew.
I thought we talk about Days of Our Lives a lot, but we did watch other things.
Maybe you did.
Well, you know what is so funny? This is totally off track, but we do this every single show because we talk about Clubhouse a lot, right? This is how Chris and I have met. We met on Clubhouse, and 4 years later, we're still doing a show together. Mark Ronick still does a daily room on Clubhouse.
That's right.
Randall was a member, and we met Randall that way. So I also met Riel Andrews from our Clubhouse room back in the day.
Yes.
And it was a shock and a delight when I was like, who's this in my room? Because he was on General Hospital.
That's right. General
and
Hospital.
Still is on General Hospital. So we had daily conversations with Riel every single morning for hours, for years. It was so funny. And we still stay connected. I was like, I know someone from General Hospital. And that was one of the ones that we would get off the bus and I would have to run in because my bus would like drop me off at 3:20 and it was from 3 to 4. So I could catch a lot of it. Oh my goodness. It was just so fun. So fun. So the big circle that continues evolving around Clubhouse.
Yeah, Dave is saying I was on Clubhouse every morning for 2 years. Well, Dave,
how did we miss you?
You didn't come into the podcast morning chat.
Listen,
and it's not too late because it's still going on.
Yes, Dave, I could have known you for 2 more years. That just makes me sad, but better later than never.
Dave is saying Facts of Life was good, but I preferred Square Pegs theme written by the waitresses. Yes.
Okay.
Great show. Remember that show? And he goes, I liked Alan Thicke's talk show. Alan Thicke did have a pretty good talk show.
Alan Thicke, like he just was I feel like a jack of all trades. He was great in so many places.
Very talented. Yep. Very talented. All right. So where am I going to rate?
Where you can rate this?
The Facts of Life theme song. So once again, and this is why I was saying I think I like it more in Different Strokes because it is more memorable. It's the bounce. It's that.
Oh yeah. It's got the cadence. Yeah.
Yeah. It just I don't know. It stays in my head more. And while I did really like Different Strokes, I did watch. I wouldn't say I watched all the way through to the very end. I think by then I'd kind of lost interest in the show.
Yeah.
Once again, these shows very, very popular, but they just lost steam. But that's what's what the networks do. They just grind it in until it's like, okay, shows don't make money anymore. But I do. I like the same theme song. I think of the show when I hear it. I think it's memorable. It gets me excited to watch the show because you see that intro, it introduces all the characters, all that. So all that being said, I don't think it's perfect. And it's not 5 records, but it's pretty darn close.
Okay.
Pretty darn close. So I would give Facts of Life a 4.6.
Nice. All coming in with very respectable ratings.
I would give it 4.6 records. Yep.
I like it.
Yep.
4 songs, all above 4 records at this point. So we're doing good. Forgive me. All up 4.5 or above.
Yeah.
Excellent choices from us going on.
And let us know, you guys all watching live, how would you have rated these on a scale of 1 to 5 records? Let us know. Also, anybody on Instagram, if you've been listening, you guys let us know too. How would you rate these classic TV theme songs on a scale of 1 to 5 records? We want to hear from you. Let us know in the comments below. And for those of you listening on radio, GardenState.com, just DM us. Let us know.
Absolutely.
We have a very big community here. We're very happy to have you all here with us. Thank you.
It's really fun.
Yes.
So your third and final song to me. And we know it's an hour into the show and we still got 2 more songs to go. That just happens.
It just happens. But we are doing a radio show nowadays. So.
That's right. We can go far and long here. All right.
Far and long.
Your third and final song to me, Chris Baglio, was Barney Miller, which I was telling Chris a little bit earlier without getting into the full show. I was like, I had forgot that show ever existed, and I really never watched it either, which was very interesting. But man, what a treat it was to listen to the theme song.
I know. Yeah. It's Barney Miller. And so I was this weekend, I spent a weekend with my friends that I've known since grade school. We get together once, twice a year. And this year we all turned 50. So my one friend was like, let's just do a barbecue at the house all day Saturday, sleep over, all that. So nobody has to worry about driving home or anything. And so we were all just, just lots of laughs, lots of like reminiscing about things. And so I already had the 2 songs I wanted to send you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey guys, I got one more song I got to send to Amanda for TV theme songs. And of course, that just went down a gigantic rabbit hole that lasted for hours, only to circle back to Barney Miller. Like, it started with Barney Miller, went all the way back around, twisted just back to Barney Miller.
And to your point, that is what we love so much about this show. This is why we love doing a music show. Yeah. We have these type of conversations with so much of our community and our friends and family. Yeah. And it is so fun because it brings up, to your point, like hours of discussion.
Yeah.
Over just music. It is phenomenal to just have something like fun to talk about.
Yeah. I mean, it really is. And so we talked about it. And, I was like, I know there's no lyrics to this song. And so I think that this may be a very generational thing. Number 2, I'm not sure nationally. I mean, the show was on, it was on national TV. It was a sitcom. I mean, it was on.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's just because where we lived. And I think because obviously I didn't watch this sort of during, I mean, I guess I did watch it during its original run, but I mostly remember because it ran from, just to already kind of put in perspective, the show ran from January 23rd, 1975 to May 20th, 1982. I was born in 74. So I would say I was exposed more to this show probably when Fox, literally before Fox became like a full-on network. It literally was just reruns. That's it. Reruns and news. That's what Fox was. And Fox did all these shows in rotation between Fox, out here in Jersey, there was Channel 9, WOR-TV, also reruns, heavy on the reruns, and even to a certain point, WPIX, Channel 11, also heavy on the reruns. And so my exposure to Barney Miller was that. And so Barney Miller was always a show that my grandfather watched, and we watched it together. And because I spent a lot of time between my grandparents' houses because my parents both worked. So they need someone to watch. So I would always get like the schedule of getting dropped off like after school while my grandfather watched us, and we would eat dinner there and all that. And he would always have the little TV on the
small TV
on the kitchen table. Yeah. And we'd literally be sitting there eating dinner, and we'd watch Three's Company would come on. And then Barney Miller would MASH, of course, MASH. And we've talked about MASH extensively on the show. Yes, I'm also rewatching MASH for the 10,000th time myself. But then in that block, usually at the end of that block of like reruns, you'd get like Barney Miller and like Night Court and Barney Miller. And just loved Barney Miller. Loved the opening. I feel like this theme song's so iconic with the bass.
That's good.
And it's a one set show. It literally just takes place inside of this police precinct in New York City. It's it. It's one set. And you got the characters, and nothing's better than like I mean you had
very low budget.
Very low budget, but Hal Linden was great as Barney Miller, but Abe Vigoda as Fish. I mean, great cast of characters, and you just didn't need much than like one set. Even like shows like WKRP in Cincinnati, like the set was it's the radio station. That's it. Like you never really left outside this place. And they just worked. It worked really well. Anyway, so I just have a lot of fond memories of Barney Miller, my childhood, growing up, all the stuff I just explained. It's very long-winded, but this is why it made the list. And the guys that I was with this weekend, we all had similar memories of watching Barney Miller because we all grew up in this rerun era of like all watching this and growing up watching. Like this was a show that like we'd watch with our parents, or like grandparents, things like that. So anyway, Barney Miller for me, that's why it's on the list, because it was decided by committee that it needed to go on the list.
Well, and I'm certainly glad that it is. And going into this, I didn't know much about it, and I still don't know a whole lot about it other than when I first Googled it to listen to it, I was like, ooh, this is a delight. It was a delight. I love that type of music.
Yeah, it sounds like Steely Dan. I mean, it's
Yeah,
great.
it's really great. And for a police show, it seems so appropriate.
Yeah, police show set in New York City. Of course, it's like it's an instrumental. It's like a jazz fusion.
Yeah.
It was written by Jake Elliott and Alan Ferguson, and it's that bass line by Chuck Berghofer. That's like,
it's excellent. Yeah,
that's great. That's perfect.
It's so good.
So,
and
right,
I to your point, I do think this could be generationally not as big of a fan from the babies. I think the show probably would not be something that the younger generation would be interested in, where some of them may actually like The Facts of Life or Cheers or Dukes of Hazzard. But Barney Miller, I think you have a place on this list, and I'm glad you sent it to me.
Yeah, I'm glad I sent it to you too.
Yeah.
So let me play a little bit of this.
Thanks to your whole crew for helping you put it on the list.
Yeah, they were all like, yeah, Barney Miller has to go on this list. Barney Miller must be on the list. All right, let me see if I can, because my tabs here are disappearing.
That is okay. And while you're pulling it up, Dave's saying the Barney Miller theme reminds him of the Night Court theme, and I think that's fair.
Very similar, and all the seasons they kind of did some variations of it, but I think season 3, and I was reading this too, and I agree. I think season 3 is the most memorable version of the theme song.
Okay.
So we'll listen to season 3's version. All very similar. All started with the doom doo doo doo.
Yeah, and there was, and this might be the video that you're gonna play, but there was the one that said all seasons, and so it just kind of replayed it all over, and they all sounded very similar to my ear from not having heard it as watching episodes over and over.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. They all sound very similar, just slight variations.
Which you would know. I didn't catch necessarily.
That's all right. It's okay. That's what I'm here for.
That's right. That's right.
All right. So here's some Barney Miller. There we go.
I mean, this is the walking down the street like you're strutting.
Yeah. I mean,
case in point. A mustache.
Great. Fish. The best. My favorite.
Character.
Ron Glass, great. Yep. Great.
Yeah, very. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
No, it's great.
It actually makes me want more.
It's so awesome because it starts off like that, and it just gets progressive. Like it's just like great. I don't know. I love it. I love listening to it. And it's like, you just want to kind of keep going too. You're like, I want to hear more of this instrumental.
The full thing.
I want these guys to not stop playing.
Yeah, and so when it was on repeat, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Yeah. So all right. So Mark coming in. So thoughts on this? TV shows that you don't like often ruins the theme song, no matter how good the show is.
So do you have an example of that, Mark?
Yes.
Like, do you have one in particular that you're thinking of specifically when you're?
He's come in.
Saying that.
He's come in. Here we go.
Oh boy, this is a controversial one.
Very controversial. So Mark Roddick is saying, to answer what Amanda just asked, was, I know this is controversial, but I never liked MASH. And even though I know deep down the theme song is good, I don't like it.
I'm going to ask a follow-up question. What is it about that you don't like? Like, does it spark an emotion in you? Because I do think it very much aligns with what the show is about. And so I could see if there's some heaviness to the sound, to that theme song.
Right.
Interesting. I can't say I've ever met anyone who doesn't like the MASH theme song, but it's not like I go around asking people like, hey, excuse me, may I ask you, do you like the MASH theme song? So more people may dislike it or not care for it than I would ever have suspected.
Yeah.
So interesting.
Which is funny because we did talk about it on one of the episodes of the TV. So, because I think I gave it to you. And literally was started off as from the film MASH, directed by Robert Altman. And it was his son that made it. And his goal was, he said to his son, I want to write the worst song ever written. Like that was the point, because of part of the joke in the show, and when it appears in the movie, sorry, not the show, but the movie, it's part of the joke. And he's like, this needs a song, but it needs to be the worst song ever written. And his son was like, sure, I'll do it. And he did it.
And boom.
And it became more popular than the movie and the series. It made more money than the movie. More
money.
Yeah. Crazy. But yeah, I mean, for me, that's like as iconic as it gets. Oh.
Okay.
So what is he saying here, Amanda? So
he's saying, yes, I hear the song and think, yuck, I hate that show. Well, Mark Ronick, you could be in the majority, you could be in the minority. I don't know.
So what's funny is I recently have seen some reels on Instagram. Maybe you've seen these reels too. And people do fun stuff. So they literally had one. It's like they had a video of like a kid, like kind of like this, and it's like that moment when you hear this song and it's time for bed and it's 8 o'clock. It was the MASH thing, like do 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 do.
Oh yes.
And I laughed so hard because I'm like, yeah, but like MASH was on. It was an 8 o'clock song. I mean, an 8 o'clock show when it was airing. But once again, sold on reruns, and like Fox would do like you get double shots of MASH. In fact, that's how Rachel and I we still watch MASH that way, because we watch it on streaming and we watch on Hulu because that's where it is now. And we'll do the double shot of MASH. And I always tell her, this is so crazy. It's how I am, is that I have to watch MASH before 8 o'clock because that's when I watched it as a kid. So it has to be like, there's a magical hour. Like MASH has to be watched before 7 p.m. before watching MASH.
Okay.
Because after 7, it just doesn't, it hits between 6 and 7. It's so stupid, but like, I don't know. And then we put it on and we do our double shot of MASH. And this is what happens, everybody, when you turn 50, by the way.
But this is what happens when you're raised generationally during a time that TV shows were played during dinner. And there were certain things like when the streetlights came on, that might go home. It wasn't a time. It was an action. It was a thing that initiated a thing like eating dinner or eating breakfast. Look at Saturday morning cartoons and how iconic those were to our Saturday mornings. I mean, that was an all morning thing. Gosh, I miss those days.
We do. We do.
Those days.
Those were the days. And that almost made my list too, by the way.
Oh gosh. Now talk about a show.
I'm going to table that though. We'll table that for another when we do this again, because we will do this again because everybody loves when we do the TV theme song. So
man, that show. Woo!
So really quick, bringing it back to Barney Miller. Yes. Just because for anybody that doesn't know, it's again, maybe you are of the age, maybe you aren't of the age, but what was Barney Miller about? So Barney Miller takes place entirely within the confines of the detective's squad room in Captain Barney Miller's adjoining office of New York City's fictional 12th precinct located in Manhattan's Greenwich Village. A typical episode featured detectives on the 12th bringing in several complaints and or suspects to the squad room. Usually there were 2 or 3 separate subplots in a given episode, which I always loved, the subplots that they would put in a short episode of a place that took a show that took place in one location. And it was always with different officers dealing with different crimes. Rarely, about once a year, an episode would feature one or more of the detectives outside the walls of the precinct, either on a stakeout or in their home. So yeah, they would break out every now and then, but it was rare. Very, very rare that they'd break out. And that was all intentional, by the way, that they did it that way, that they wanted this sort of like theatrical feel to it.
Sure.
It was resembled a theatrical stage play. Scenes rarely straight from the precinct station squad room with its prominent open barred holding cell in Miller's adjoining office. The room was said to be on the 2nd and 3rd floor, depending on the episode. Clutter was plentiful, and much of it seemed immobile over the years, including a coat hanging on a clothes rack near Harris's desk. A handful of episodes were partially or fully set in other locations, including stakeout, the hospital room, undercover operation in the hotel room, and apartments in Barney's place. And it goes on for a couple other places, but normally that was it. And the reason why is that they would do this for marathon taping sessions.
Which makes complete sense
for doing that. Early seasons were recorded before a live studio audience and used a laugh track for sweetening reactions during post-productions. And they would rewrite scenes in between like sessions as the audience is kind of cycled in. But that's why. So they were like, they could shoot fast.
Yeah.
Just marathon. But I mean, man, can you imagine the grind that must have been?
Woo. Yeah, but like It would be, but effective at the same time. I mean, you could get a lot of production done in a few short days. And when you're talking like great cast, I mean, they often have other things they got to do too. And there's a window to get what they need to get done for that season. And they got to get it done.
That's it. They got to get it done. Got to get it done. So,
all right.
So Barney Miller.
Barney Miller.
The theme song.
Where do I rate it?
Where are you rating this?
So again, it was a pleasure when I listened to it for the very first time because I hadn't heard it before. So 4.5 records.
All right. Okay.
I like it. But you know what? It's my style of music. Yeah, you shared something new with me. It's my style of music. I bet I'll enjoy it even more as I go on. No complaints.
Yeah. I know this episode that Dave's talking about. He goes, there's a scene in Barney Miller where Fish, Abe Vigoda, is on his way to the bathroom when they get a call to chase a perp into the sewers. He said he'd better wait because he could be obstructing justice. Ian is saying the best TV show of all time for me was Prisoners of War drama, a drama from Israel, a must-watch for everybody. All right.
Interesting.
See, Ian gets access because he lives in Australia and he grew up there, and that's where he obviously lives. He gets access to things that we just don't see here in America.
Yeah.
You know, or at least things that are probably available to us in America, but yet we don't know, so it's not on the radar, so we don't go watch them. So he always gets, between bands, music, TV shows, all that. It's really is a whole other world.
It is, and it's wonderful. It really diversifies us, so I love it.
Absolutely. So, all right, I will take your 4.5 records. All right. I guess are we saving the best for last?
Yes.
Is that
yes, we 1,000% are.
Because I mean, we've talked about a lot of great theme songs today. Today. But this one, I feel like, and this was a Dave Mattingly suggestion.
It was.
Of course. And so before Dave suggested this to you, was this already on your list?
I will have to say it was.
Okay.
It was. It may not have been a final contender, but it really kind of was. Because with him, I don't want to say his recent passing, but recent-ish passing.
Right.
It's still new.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I saw Dave's list, I was like, this is just meant to be. We're going to put it on there. And man, would I re-listen to it as an adult again? I was like, gosh, this was such a magical beginning from visually the imagination. So I feel like this is one of the things that it's not just listening to, and it makes the most sense. I feel like you have to visually, like you are a kid sitting down watching the show.
Right.
I think that's what's really important with this song, because if someone just listens to it based off of the audio clip of this, you might feel underwhelmed, and I think that's fair.
I think that is fair too. It's very, very heavy on the visual. So guys, we're talking about, of course, Pee-wee's Playhouse theme song.
Oh, man.
So how many of you out there watched Pee-wee's Playhouse when it was on the air? I did.
Definitely did.
I mean,
and all the movies and the specials.
Of course.
Man.
Such good stuff. I really enjoyed the show, and I always loved too how Pee-wee, like how he made the transition from because when you watch this comedy, like back in the day, it was very adult,
raunchy a
bit, but then he went into more. He did more family programming, family entertainment. The movies were excellent. Always loved the movies. So
great.
And I hadn't, and it's been a long time since I actually had listened to the theme song. So it was actually it was a very nice treat going back, listening, and then also watching it again.
Yeah.
So I remember watching the show. I really enjoyed it. And, there's not much to say in the way of the show. I mean, you either liked Pee-wee Herman and that kind of style of comedy, or you didn't. I don't know if there was an in-between with him. I don't know if there was an in-between.
That's probably fair. And as a parent now, if I would have been having a child watch this as an adult, I think as an adult, it might have been rather annoying.
Yeah, I think so too.
With the noises, but kids make those kind of stupid noises as it is. So it just was right in line with kids.
So here's some fun facts about this song. If you didn't know, because maybe you haven't heard it before either. So but some fun facts. So this is coming from AmericanSongwriter.com, by the way. So the title of this article is, who wrote 1986's Pee-wee's Playhouse theme song? Well, first of all, let's go with who was it performed by? Of course,
Do you know, I did not know that until I started researching the song myself.
Wow, that I did not know.
That Cyndi Lauper herself is the one who sang Pee-wee's Playhouse theme song. I was blown away. Blown away. And it sounds like she kind of, I don't want to say kept it secret, but she didn't really like go out and like share the news that was her either.
Yeah, no, they didn't. She didn't like really like promote it that way, but like, you know, but it makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And also she was also credited her name. She changed her name. So she was credited as Ellen Shaw.
See, this makes so much sense.
She didn't
I was
use
like,
her
how did
name.
I miss it?
Yeah, she didn't use her name. She credited herself as Ellen Shaw in this, and it was actually written by. So as it goes, first episode aired September 13th, 1986, and featured ex-Groundlings members Phil Hartman, Lawrence Fishburne, John Paragon, S. Empatha Murkison, and Lynn Marie Stewart. Before it aired, the show needed an enigmatic carnival-like opening, and Mark Mothersbaugh of Devo fame, also Tim Burton collaborator, rose to the challenge. Cyndi Lauper, who was already a pop star with her 1983 debut, She's So Unusual in True Colors in 86, came on board to sing the theme song, but concealed her identity.
So funny. I mean, so it's no surprise I didn't know, because why would I have randomly just typed in like, who sang that? Like it's so important, but it wasn't like so important to know the person behind it.
So Mark Mothersbaugh had said, he said this to American Songwriter, he said that writing the theme song to Pee-wee's Playhouse completely shifted the course of his entire career. Outside of Devo, Mothersbaugh's work veered into composing music for television, video games, and films, including and scoring several Wes Anderson films, Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, Royal Tenenbaums, and The Life Aquatic. Throughout his career, Mothersbaugh also composed the first score of the animated series Rugrats, along with music for dozens of TV shows, including House of Cards, or House of Lies, The Carrie Diaries, and the Apple Plus series Hello Tomorrow. He said, I'd never done a TV show before, said Mothersbaugh, working on Pee-wee's Playhouse. That took me into a world of film and television and video games that totally changed the whole trajectory of my career. Isn't that something?
We always talk about timing, opportunity, and boom. You just never know just by showing up.
Yeah. And yes, Mark, I don't think I knew she wrote that. So while she didn't write it, she performed
it.
Yeah. Mark Mothersbaugh was the writer. So all right, so so what I did on this, because there's the whole like kind of the beginning, like as you're going through the trees,
which is so magical.
But I took it from the point when it actually kind of kicks in.
Okay.
Is that all right? Or do you want me to play it all the way? Or you want me to play it from the beginning?
I think
what do you want?
Maybe the whole beginning, the whole thing.
All right, so I'm gonna play it from the whole thing.
I just think it's really magical.
All right, so everybody strap in for some.
Everyone strap in. We're making Amanda happy.
Making Amanda happy. Here we go.
Oh goodness. It's so like the claymation.
I love the claymation.
So great.
It's great.
You just don't. This is at the point you had no idea what was going to happen.
No. Great claymation opening.
The chaos that was about to erupt.
Great chaos.
Such great animation here. Or claymation.
Yep.
Just like the duck, everything. Oh, I'd put this out as a day. Snowman.
This is a very fun playhouse, by the way.
Playhouse. Even how like soft that was spoken, and then
chaos. And then chaos kicks in.
And pull yourself up a chair. Let the fun begin. It's time to let down your hair. TV's short, it's tight. Those men have been invited. The wacky TV Playhouse. There's a crazy rhythm coming from Puppet Land. There you go, a cool cat, Chicky Baby on a puppet band.
Yeah. I love Genie.
Zombie.
that big bowl of cereal.
It's gonna be that kind of morning, being wacky.
That character. Oh my goodness.
Oh my
Thank you for playing it all.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That it's just so great. It's so great.
Like the chaos, but there were so many, so many amazing things just from that beginning. Yeah. But do you remember like his big aluminum ball and rubber band ball? Like,
oh yeah,
just all of the things. It just
the amount of props, that set, all the stuff that's animated, the puppetry. I mean, it's like I'm sure there's tons of stuff in there. And I rewatching it again, and I'm like, there's so much going on, but even the show itself with like I said, the puppet, the animatronic stuff, that whole claymation over, like there's so much going on that requires so much like skill to like put a show like that on, and then him with his performance, it's just everything's great. And you can see like why. I mean, at the time of this is like, this 86, 87, this ran, I think, until what year did this run to? 1990. So I was definitely older, I was, but I watched this because I still was like, this is a fun show. And, we're still watching Saturday morning stuff.
Of course. Yes.
At that time, I mean, it wasn't like, was a teenager, but I was still digging some stuff. And I always liked Pee-wee because the movies were coming out too. And I remember going to see, I remember going to movies to go see Pee-wee Herman and all that. So
yeah,
I just liked it. And I always thought it was great, but I could definitely see like, even as a younger kid, why they would love this show, like
absolutely.
Like definitely appealed to the much younger child, my inner child.
And I think that's the truth. Like even rewatching it now, I'm like, the imagination of all of that. And again, that's why I think visually it's so important to see it when you're hearing it, because it just kind of sounds nonsense if you're just audio listening to it. Yeah. But to see all of the things that are happening during it, like why would there be any other theme song that would go with that chaos?
Yeah. I mean, it's perfect.
It's just perfect.
It is perfect. Dave is saying, ever since remote work started, my Zoom background has been the set of Pee-wee's Playhouse.
I love that. Yeah. And he messaged us, and I think he put it in the comments as well, that he wore a Pee-wee's Playhouse shirt to church yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was somewhere back there. He said, all my friends in college also love watching Pee-wee's Playhouse back in the day. Yeah, it's the perfect, it's just great. It's just fun. Yep. Yeah, and Cowboy Curtis, played by, of course, Lawrence Fishburne. Morpheus.
Really,
I mean, Phil Hartman, like, oh my god, like it was an amazing cast. And yeah, they came from the Groundlings, who were like, the premier top of the top improv comedy troupe, and a lot of those people too would appear in the skits and stuff when he did his live version of this before he got the TV show and all that. And like, so just really great all around. And I think that not having heard this in its entirety in a long time unlocked some member berries for me. Member berries. No, it was good. It was really good. I mean, I think as far as a television theme song goes, it's memorable. It sets you up for the chaos, as you said. So I think with all that, I would give this a 5 record. I think it's a 5. I think it's a 5 record. And plus, phenomenal. You add on top of that's Mark Mothersbaugh, who I don't think could capture that kind of chaos. Like, I mean, hold on, let me say that again. The fact that it is Mark Mothersbaugh makes it that I don't think anybody else could have captured that kind of that carnival-like theme like him, considering, Devo, all that. Like, that's where he thrives. And 2, Cyndi Lauper, perfect to choose to sing.
It's perfect. True. And Mark had said, of course, it's Cyndi Lauper. And listen, like in retrospect, when you know it now and you hear it, you're like, of course, how did I miss that? But truly, it took until this show for me to know that all those years. And I remember going to Blockbuster and getting the movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And watching them. And let's just talk about how the soundtracks of each and every movie were just phenomenal. And the show specials, oh my gosh, so good.
I have a fake album cover of Pee-wee singing Live from the Alamo.
Gosh, yes.
Which of the Pee-wee movies was your favorite? I mean, do you think the first one, or do you like
probably Big Top Adventure?
Big Top Adventure?
Yeah, which was yours?
I love the first one so much.
It's
I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's the first one.
Read them all out. Do you have the list?
1985. Yeah,
Do you have the list in front of you?
Yeah. Let me get this real quick. Let me get the list of Pee-wee's movies here. Hold on.
Because I may be a little confused with the name of the one I'm thinking of. Which one has like the large Marge as the truck driver?
Big Adventure.
Okay, that's the one. That's the one then.
Yeah, because there's
like Big Top Pee-wee or something.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
Okay.
Big Top Pee-wee.
The Big Adventure. The first one. The first one is my favorite then.
Yeah, there were like 3.
The first one's where his bike gets stolen, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so yes, that's the one. That's the one. I just had the name wrong. What kind of Pee-wee fan am I?
Yeah, Pee-wee's Holiday was on 2016. So it literally went Pee-wee's Big Adventure, Big Top Pee-wee, and then Pee-wee's Big Holiday, which I think that was the one that was on. That was a Netflix one.
Sure. All great. All great.
Yeah, Pee-wee Herman is a resident of a small town in Fairville and works as a fry cook at Dan's Diner.
Oh, Pee-wee.
Yeah, that's right. Joe Manganiello is in it. That's right. Pee-wee. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, it wasn't bad. I remember liking it. But yeah, I think Big Adventure to me is the pinnacle. Is pinnacle Pee-wee.
So good. So good.
Directed by Tim Burton and all that.
I'm glad I had a childhood with Pee-wee's like Playhouse in it.
Yeah, I know. Me too. I'm glad it exists in the universe. Yeah,
absolutely. Dave's
saying if I ever do karaoke, it would be tequila in honor of Pee-wee. Yeah, Mark Roddick saying the first is the best. Yeah, Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Agreed. Very
Dave
good.
also saying Pee-wee's Big Adventure is definitely my favorite. Yeah, I mean, not Big Top is funny, but Big Adventure is just as like we're shooting for the stars on this. Like,
yeah. It was good. Well, I am really glad you gave me 5 records. Thank you, sir. But that does not make me the winner of today's episode. No. Chris Baglio, you are the winner of the theme
I'm the winner.
You're the winner of the theme songs.
Wow.
You are. Like, check you out.
Wow.
Well done. Bravo.
I am the winner of TV theme song showdown.
Not a bad title to have for this week, sir.
Yeah, not bad, right?
So yeah, I didn't do the math, but it's clear that you're the winner based on.
I'm sure somebody out there was doing the math.
Absolutely. I'm loving it. This was a great episode.
This was a lot of fun. What do you guys think? Did you guys have a good time today? What did you guys think of today's episode? We'd love to hear from you. Let us know by the way, like these TV theme song things, like this is now our 3rd, maybe 4th one. I think we're third one of TV. I guess we did it, the cartoon one, but as long as you guys keep liking these and downloading them and making requests, then we'll keep making these types. So you let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So we're here for you. We're here for the community.
And we just happen to really love doing it.
Yeah. Mark says great episode. Thank you, Mark. I appreciate you. Dave's saying not even Pee-wee could dethrone King Bagley.
You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Mr. Madley.
Because it's hard to pick theme songs that we don't think the others heard. It is. It's very hard. Although I did it today with Barney Miller, which I
probably am surprised by, right?
I was very surprised because I just, I think everybody's seen everything. So
yeah,
Barney Miller was shocking in that way that I was like, oh, you didn't know Barney Miller? Like, okay, great. Like, so wow.
It's so funny because so many of the shows, to your point of what you shared about being raised, where we know them because of our parents watching them.
Right. Yeah, we do. We do, like parents, grandparents, family, like, because that's with TV time with the family.
Yes.
In the family room.
And they say TV babysits kids now. No. It started way back.
Way back.
Years ago, everyone.
Yeah. All right, guys, before we do the spin the wheel, I just want to say a big, huge thank you. Big shout out to our official Patreon members, because we do have a Patreon. It's how it helps run this show. So we want to say thank you so much for your support. Amy White, Mark Roddick, Dave Mattingly, Ian from Australia, and Johnny Beyond in the back of the Cereal Box crew. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Thanks for joining our Patreon. Amanda and I were actually having some great conversations going back and forth on some more fun Patreon stuff we're going to be doing and offering, so even tweaking some of the perks that we're doing. So definitely go over there, check it out. Go over to Patreon / Swap Showdown. You can get there by using the link right now in our show notes, in the description, or if you're watching this, you can actually scan a QR code on the screen and that will take you right there. You could join for free, try it out for 7 days, or join at our lowest level at $1.50, our famous hot dog and soda combo menu item.
And listen, if you don't want to spend the $1.50 on us, if we're not worth a hot dog and soda combo, we would love for you to go to our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe, like some videos, leave some comments. We also monetize on there now, and we are so grateful. So don't sleep on that opportunity, please. We're begging. We're beggars. It's okay. We're beggars.
It's okay. It's all right. It's all right. And make sure you guys always, keep it tuned to radio. If you're listening to us on RadioGardenState.com, please keep it tuned there all day, because there's music. There's all kinds of other shows. Yeah, very good music. So it's all New Jersey based, all New Jersey themed radio station. So coming up today, you also have music. You've got Mike Ham's Greetings from the Garden State coming up at 12. You have the Sleevy G show at 2:00. And then you hear Mike Ham live at 4 p.m. for Garden State Happy Hour. We got Tarot tonight and a new show premiering tonight, Dystopia tonight, with John Povermero. I hope Provo Romo. Sorry, I'm saying that wrong. But anyway, keep it tuned. RadioGardenState.com all day long. Every week, it's all programmed. Plus, yours truly is there live Tuesday through Friday.
You got that right.
Waking you up and getting you ready for your mornings from 7 to 9 a.m. Spinning tunes, taking requests. So
proud of you when you
get
do
those
that.
Requests. Yes, well, thank you. I'm very happy to be doing it, and I'm so happy that Song Swap Showdown is part of the Radio Garden State family. So definitely support independent radio. Support independent radio. All right, everybody, it is that time. It is that time. What time is it, Amanda?
It is time to spin the wheel of show themes.
Oh, yeah. Time to spin the wheel of show themes. The almighty.
The wheel speaks and we follow.
Yeah, we do. And I don't think there's any repeats on here, but we'll soon find out.
You know what? We'll just spin again if we need to.
Yeah. All right. All right, guys, here we go. We got the wheel. Oh, the wheel is up. Let me hit shuffle. Shuffle button's been hit. I'll hit shuffle one more time. Shuffle. Currently reading that we have 53 entries on here.
Okay. That's a healthy quantity.
Yeah. And listen, if you guys have an idea for a show theme, let us know and we will add it to the wheel of themes. You could leave it in a comment. You could DM us. You can head over to our website at songswapshowdown.com. Send us an email over there as well. So we will add it. This is democratic. It's very
yes.
Democratic process here. You have the idea, we put it on a wheel, we spin the wheel. That's it.
So complicated.
All right, here we go. Spinning the wheel to find out what next week's show theme is going to be.
Oh boy.
Here we go. Round and round we go. And
no whammies, big money. What do we got?
Boom.
Interesting.
All right. Amanda, what is our show theme for next week?
Best tailgate / sports event songs, which after I was just like, oh, football, yay. What a show.
So you've tailgated, though?
Miserably, yes.
Miserably?
Okay, can I?
All right. Yeah. All right, first of all, we're already unlocking something here. So here we go.
I'm a little okay, it's just not that I don't like tailgating. I don't like tailgating the way Marcus makes us tailgate. You see, if the time of game is irrelevant for Marcus. Right. We are out the door at 6 a.m. on the way to the tailgating spot. There is breakfast, lunch, and dinners planned when necessary. Mm-hmm. Everyone is assigned stuff. They use a spot that they've been using for no less than 25 years.
Yep. This all sounds awesome to me. So
the crew is the same, and now it's generational now. Even Owen's going to be going tailgating on his own if Marcus isn't able to go, and it's just something, and it's just all day. And I'm not even kidding. There's even a tent over a 5-gallon bucket with stones that people pee in.
Okay.
By a railroad track. I don't pee in it. I refuse.
You don't pee in the bucket with stones.
No, with the tent surrounding it. No
Tent.
way.
It's like it's the little camping commode.
Yes,
it's the camping
it's
commode.
just and that you know what, that bucket stays out all year round because everyone knows what it is, and even the like town people. And it's in Ann Arbor. Like these people leave that bucket there all year long. It's too much. It's too much.
First of all, everything you've said sounds fine to me because this is what tailgating is. It's all day. It's all day.
But it's every week that they're home.
So, we're talking about Michigan football here? Are we talking about Michigan
football.
Michigan
I'm married
football.
into the love of it.
That's right. You are in Michigan, and Michigan football is a thing, big thing. So
it is a big thing, and
it's a very big deal.
Team.
Yes,
the stadium is beautiful, but boy, is it full. I mean,
I would love to go see a game there.
It's elbow to elbow. I mean, it's amazing.
I mean, to come out and just go see a game so I can tailgate with everybody.
Do the whole experience. I mean, and the tailgate crew that we have, they're wonderful, like wonderful. Right. And they're all going to Indiana together to watch one of the games there. I mean, tailgating is serious. Ian from Australia.
Tailgating
Do people tailgate this seriously in Australia?
Australia is the most sports-loving country in the world.
So
I would agree.
I just answered my own question then by that.
The only football in Australian rules football. The only football is Australian rules football. Yeah.
Okay. So obviously there's got to be some major tailgating that they do.
So tailgating is in my DNA, and yes, it is generational. I have been tailgating since I was a little kid, and I learned it from my relatives, and I've passed it down to my children who also know how to tailgate. Jana helped run the tailgates at West Virginia University. So we are a tailgating family. And yes, we take tailgating very seriously. We're there, gates open. We have a whole setup, especially I'm a New York Giants fan. So we do New York Giants games. We meet at the same pole. We're in a group. We call it the Giant Geo group. It is.
So it's similar.
Legit. Yeah. For hockey, different. We're going to Madison Square Garden. There's like tailgating's the bars. Like you go to bars.
Sure.
A lot. But for Giants games, New York Giants games, and if I've gone to Mets City Field up in New York, yeah, you can tailgate there as well. So there is plenty of opportunity. But yes, tailgating is an event, especially football games. It's all day. So normally how we do it, get there in the morning, breakfast, usually Taylor ham, egg, and cheeses. Whip that out. I get the whole set. We have the whole setup going. Then there's usually like wings, some other meats or whatever that we have already prepared, marinated, because the prep is usually 2 days beforehand.
Sure. And gotta make sure you have it all.
And because the game starts at 1, so we're usually wrapped up by 12:45. Everything's back in the car, and we go in. We come back out because there's so much traffic. Bring the grill back out, fire it back up, and that's when we have the dinner ready to go. And that's usually something that we held on to, like, maybe some like little steaks or just burgers, and we throw that on. So while everybody's leaving and fighting for a way out, we're eating dinner. And by we're done with that, parking's clear, and we're home in 30 minutes.
As opposed to hours.
As opposed to sitting in traffic for 90 minutes or 2 hours. Like, might as well just sit here, fire up the grill, let's eat, and then we'll, and then let's get on the road and go. And so that's, yes, it's all day. Like usually 8 a.m. to about 6 o'clock at night.
Man, oh man. So, I mean, it sounds like we do it right and have been doing it right for decades. Yeah. You have as well. And, surprisingly enough, Ian from Australia is saying tailgating is not really a thing in Australia. I wish it wasn't here either, Ian.
But going to the pubs makes a lot of sense. And that's what we do for hockey. Is we go because there isn't a lot, or it's just bars, pubs, that's what we do for hockey. But football, college football, NFL, professional football, it's all about that.
And I would say for baseball too, that's basically like you might go to dinner and go to a bar before the baseball game or something like that. Here for us, we don't tailgate for baseball.
Baseball is like a little bit of a different tailgate. I mean, it also depends who they're playing, and maybe playoffs. Definitely.
Well, that's different. Yeah. But just the games, and I would suspect it's because games are throughout the week, oftentimes too.
Yeah. I mean, you only have 8 home games for football,
right? Yeah.
It's
a big deal. Lord.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal, and for college level, obviously, and for NFL. So bringing it back to our show theme, music is important.
It is.
I have
many
playlists for tailgating. It's key. It gets you hyped. It gets you psyched. It gets you focused. The hype is real. So it's essential to have a proper tailgating playlist, and I can't wait for our episode tomorrow. And we did one where we did baseball theme songs. I think we did that. Which was fine. I mean, it was fun. And but this is good territory here we're going into. And I'm gonna be interested to hear what is on you guys. I'm sure you guys have a playlist that you hang out in.
Well, so the minute we get into a car, Marcus has his playlist fired up. It's a very, very superstitious playlist. Like he has to play it.
Rightfully so.
And he puts out the flags because of course we have, go blue flags.
But it works because listen, they won a championship.
This is true. I mean, my world was very happy last fall.
Oh yes.
It was a good season at the Sharp household, but there's a very rigid playlist that does not get played. I'll just have them tell me what to say.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to hear from you guys. So let us know, like right now, like what is a go-to? What is a go-to song on your tailgating playlist? 1 or 2 songs. Let us know if you're still listening. Drop in the comments. For those of you on Instagram, watch us on Instagram. We just spun the wheel. Next week's theme is going to be tailgating tunes. What songs do you tailgate to? Drop 1 or 2 into the comments. Maybe we'll add it to our list. I don't know. The superstition thing, I'm with you on the superstition thing.
It's a big deal. Even Owen's into that too.
It is a big deal because there's certain songs that have to be played. Otherwise, I feel like it's like
useless.
It's bad luck on a day. I agree. I agree. And I know we've got I know Mark is a big football guy. He actually won his fantasy champion. I think he won 3 or 4 championships last year. So of course, fantasy football that's coming up. All these good things.
Oh my gosh! Again, yay!
You can't wait. Karen can't wait.
I can't wait. Karen cannot wait for the football season. Oh boy.
All right. So I'm excited for next week's episode. This is going to be a good one. It's going to be a good one. So all right, everybody. Oh, we said we were going to play. Oh, we'll play out with
we'll play out with Mr. Randall's
tune. Mr. Randall's tune. All right, so let's
do a happy one. It's a fun one.
Let me get it queued up here. All right, so we got let's should we play it and do our goodbyes? So we say our goodbyes and then play it?
Say our goodbyes and then we'll spin it out and be done with our show that was almost 2 hours.
Yeah, Dave's saying tailgating is never been a thing for me. I don't drink, don't eat meat, don't like the heat, and find most sports boring. That's
high five to you, Dave.
Not everybody likes sports, and I get that, Dave. I 100% get that.
I tolerate them.
The most Karen thing to say. All right, everybody. Well, thank you all so much for hanging out with us today on YouTube, Facebook, and of course, RadioGardenState.com. Thank you all for hanging out. My name is Chris, and you have been joined by my co-host, Karen Sharp. Amanda, that girl Sharp, today. So thank you guys. We really appreciate you. And make sure if you are on YouTube that you hit that subscribe button and the like and share it if you like this, or leave some comments below or whatever, whatever you want to do. And of course, keep it tuned to RadioGardenState.com all day long. And you can always catch me once again, Tuesday through Fridays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. over there, spinning some tunes. Great show today. Thank you guys for all the participation. You guys are all amazing. Thank you, Dave, Ian, Mark. I saw Alex come in there before. Let's see who else we had on here before. I just want to go.
Got everybody.
I think you
got everybody.
Yeah. Well, I know there's a lot of people watching who didn't comment. Totally fine, but we just appreciate
Randall.
Yep, we had Randall. Thank you, Randall. Yes, and we're going to be playing Randall's theme song version for us, right? That he wrote for us using Suno.ai right now. So, all right, everybody. Well, and thank you, everybody on IG for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you. Hopefully, you had some fun on the behind the scenes there. So, all right, we're going to play us out. Play us out,
Randall,
with some tunes, with a tune.
With a tune.
This is a song written by Randall using Suno. Our new jingle, Chris and Amanda theme song. All right, everybody.
What a name.
Chris and Amanda always online. Grab your headphones, let's review time. Music's the love. wish divine. Laughs and insights mixed like wine. Every strong and every beat. They analyze, they can't be beat. Tuning in on the socials meet. Join the fun and take your seat. If music's your thing, come along. Hear Amanda sing her song. Chris brings the notes all day long. Together they make us strong.
So funny.
What a banger.
It's a banger.